Welcome back to my YouTube page. A little different today. If you don't know who I am PJ Billingsley. And I'm going to share a couple of dreams that I had um, about a year back, a couple of months in a year back. If you hear background noise, those are my children. Yes, those are my children. They're here running around. My grandchildren, they're here running around. So I'm going to go ahead and start. If you like the video, yeah, those are my dogs too. If you like this video, like, comment, and subscribe. I'm gonna go ahead and get this one done. This one was on January 2nd, 2019. And I'm gonna be reading from my old trusty journal. See, it's been through a whole lot of stuff here. So it says, I was in a dream, my husband and I, and we were traveling down Nellis. And down Nellis, I live in Las Vegas, so we have the Nellis Air Force Base that's down the road here from me. And so we were in a black pickup when I looked up in the sky and saw a whirlwind funnel cloud. At the end of the funnel, there was a fully grown tree with the roots still intact at the end at the bottom part of the whirlwind, and it wrapped around the tree. And I said to my husband, look at that in the sky. That's when I saw the shift of rocks. There's these rocks, and they were shifted. They were together, but apart, and they cut it to like four different slabs, and they were falling from the sky at a rapid speed, but one at a time. So it was one falling, and then it was like boom, and they were just falling. And the first shift of rocks fell in the desert behind the Air Force Base on Nellis. And when they fell and they broke apart, they began to fly into the streets. So we were um, going in and out of traffic, and they were falling into the street. So we were trying to steer to not get hit by these big boulder rocks falling into the street, because they fell by behind the houses on Nellis. They fell, but from the fall, the actual rocks flew in the air from the fall. So it said boom, and then the rocks went flying into the streets, and they were just going everywhere. So those were the rock fragments, and they fell into the street. So we went to this Walmart. It used to be this Walmart on Las Vegas Boulevard, and Nellis used to be this Walmart there, big, big, big Walmart. No longer there. It's closed for whatever reason. They said that too many people was stealing out of the store now. And they were employees and management, which was true. Management and employees were stealing from the store. Yes, yeah, it's true. But the store was packed every day. It's not like this Walmart wasn't making millions and millions of dollars. They were making a lot of money. It was never a time when this Walmart wasn't busy. I remember when they first opened, and we used to go in there and we used to shop. They actually had a shootout in there. Somebody was shooting in the store, and we were walking down the way. I had my child in the car, and we was pushing, and we hear everybody screaming and running. So of course, we're gonna run too. And turns out it was someone shooting in the store, and this happened quite often in this Walmart. It was always something going on in this Walmart all the time. But we went to this Walmart, and in this Walmart, it they had these big, big, big boxes, real big boxes, and it was full of stuff. It was full of a whole lot of stuff, and in there they had, it was like a close. It almost would remind you of a, almost like a farmer's market, but not, or one of those stores where they have everything in boxes and you can get it for like a really big discount, like a discounted store or whatever the case may be. But they had them in different sections, and on this side it would say, "Oh, it was a big sale for this. You can get this or you can get that." For that sale, but it was a line. The line was crazy, and it was almost as if they were out of stuff. It didn't look like the regular Walmarts or anything like that. There's a lot of people there. It wasn't that much stuff there. They had, you couldn't go way in the back in the Walmart. They had everything pushed up to the front. And they had, like I said, they had it in these real big boxes, these huge oversized boxes. And they had stuff emptied into these boxes, and people were getting stuff from the boxes, but you had to stand in line, and the lines were extremely, extremely long. Um, let's see here. They were great prices. You did, and that's another thing. You didn't really see the people purchasing. They weren't. They were standing in line, but you didn't see them buying the stuff. They were receiving the items. It seemed like more like they was receiving them for free. I take it, they weren't purchasing. They were standing in line. There was a lot of lines. It was like, oh, get this at this price or whatever. Great prices. But it didn't seem like they were paying for the stuff. It was like they were getting it for free. And it just didn't seem right. And me and my husband, we were looking at and observing everything. We left. We left the store, and that's when the scene changed, and I was in an apartment complex with a lot of people. And when we looked up further down in the sky, there was this black cloud, this like dusty black disease looking cloud that was coming our way, and it was fast approaching. It was approaching really, really fast. And really, this is like the third time I've seen this dusty cloud in my dream. And when I seen the cloud, you could look at this cloud. It was really dusty, and it looked like it brought disease with it. And um, let's see, it says I was traveling down Lamb one day, and I was going to pick my kids up something. It was December 28th of 2018. And when I looked up in the sky, I seen the same cloud. And we have a lot of warehouses where we stay at. There's a lot of warehouses all over the place. And they were right above the warehouse. You seen this cloudy, diseasey like smoke cloud. It looked like it was a cloud, and I was a little alarmed. I said, these clouds are a little too low to be, because we our warehouses, they're tall, but they're not skyscrapers. So there was no real reason for these clouds to be so low and to be so black and grayish. They look real, real disease type. That's what the spirit of the Lord kind of let me know that it wasn't right. It looked like it was a disease. And as I was driving down the road and on Craig and Lamb, I noticed the clouds were really, really low. You could for the commercial buildings, you could literally touch them. If you were on top of the building, you could touch the clouds. So that's when we began to back to the dream. So that's when everybody began to run. We started running. And I was with a cousin of mine. Her name was Dario. And then I have another cousin named Latora. We were running. And we ran into these apartment complexes, and everyone began to close the doors. They began to, oh, let me wake myself back up. They began to close the doors. They began to, close the windows. Just in a rush, everybody's panicking. They're running and they're closing the doors and they're closing the windows. And we all watched as the storm cloud passed by. It was the same black cloud, the same exact black cloud. This time I was able to smell the cloud because one of the windows was open, so it was quickly closed, but you could smell it. And the planes were dropping from the sky, and they were crashing. And it's like, whoa. And that was the end of that particular dream, but it was so crazy. It was a really really crazy dream. And um when I had that dream, I remember telling my husband, I was saying something's coming. I don't know what it is, but something is going to hit the states. I had no idea that it was going to be all over the world. I had no idea. I'm a dreamer. The Lord deals with me in dreams. So I had no idea that it was going to be more than just Las Vegas, because I have another one that a couple of other ones that I've seen in my dream that I'm gonna record. But I wanted to record this particular one because of what had happened. And I was busy telling people, and they weren't taking it serious. They weren't taking the dreams serious as I began to tell people about the dreams, and as I began to watch them manifest. I said, okay, well, if Vegas doesn't want to listen, someone out in the world is going to listen. So I said, Lord, okay, as you begin to show me these dreams, let me know which ones. Put it in my spirit which ones I need to share and which ones I need to pray. I need to go before the throne and pray about, because there's a lot of things that's coming the path that I have in my dream book that is is so vivid. It is so prophetic. As I see it in the dream is how it's playing out. So stay tuned. Stay tuned for more of the videos that's gonna be coming out of my dreams and what I'm gonna be sharing. I would ask you, I would plead with you to get closer to the Lord. Keep your temple clean. They say, well, we have time. We have time to get it together. We have time to you know still go out there and party. We don't have time. If you read Revelation, if you read Daniel, if you read any of the warnings that's in the Bible, these are the signs of time. These are the times that he was talking about, that they were speaking about in the Bible. Time, as they said with the on the TV, time's up. Time is literally up. If you don't get to know the Lord now, and you don't, keep your oil lit, keep it lit. But they had the 10 virgins, and five was wise and five was dumb. Don't be of the dumb ones. Don't let him come and knock at the door, or don't let him come and say, let's go. Open up the door. Let's go, everybody. Let's go. It's time to go home. And you're out there busy trying to get oil for your lamp, because Nothing's full. You have no light in you. You haven't been seeking his face. You haven't turned from your wicked ways. Um, you've been full of your iniquity. You went past sin and now you in iniquity. Because you know there's stages to this. Because when you get to the altar, he's gonna call you a worker of iniquity when he tells you to depart from him. So I'm pleading with you to, turn your life around. There's still time right now before he starts sealing his own, because the Lord is gonna start sealing his own. He's going to start sealing them, and they're going to be able to see the ones that are sealed because they're not going to be able to touch them. And if you're not sealed with God's seal, woe unto you when all of these plagues start coming out, because they're not going to touch the ones that are sealed. They're going to touch the ones that are not sealed. Be careful of these pastors that's saying, "Oh, be careful that how would I want to say it? It's a lot of pastors that's going to be out there that's going to tell you to go into the Walmarts and things like that, and um, come, let's go here, listen to your government and listen to the police officers because they're 501c. Gonna have to be careful. They're not who they say they are. And yeah, I may get in trouble. I might get a strike with YouTube or whomever the platform is, but I really don't care. Be careful. You should always be alert of of who you're around, and you should always have a red flag up, regardless of who your pastor is. You never know who they are, and to it really come down to it, especially if they're already signed the 501c 3. If they have already signed that, then they are quite aware of what they signed, because they have to read it. They have to read that particular paper that they're getting ready to sign. Yeah, they got all the documents, they do all of that signing, whatever, but it's a particular paper that they have to read, and it has a set of rules and regulations that they have to go by. And so when the government says for them to, tell their church to go there, they're going to tell their church to go there. When they tell them to tell their church to follow this rule and follow that rule, they're going to do just that. It's going to come a time where you're going to have church in your home or in hidden places. And it's going to come a time when there will be no more Bibles, where you're going to have God's word written on your heart. It's going to have to be in your heart. You're going to be listening to uh, pastors and evangelists and whomever it is. They're going to be speaking from what they know, what's in their heart. They're going to be speaking on that type of thing. They're no longer, you see this? They're no longer going to have this here. It's no longer going to be here. They're going to take them. They're going to confiscate them. These are going to be illegal. Right now, certain Bibles on the web, when you try to buy them, they're not for sale, or they're extremely expensive, especially the old ones. You want to get yourself a really good old Bible. Get yourself a real old one. Because you got an old one, then it's not much taken out. These new ones, they're starting to switch up the words, change it out, take out verses and things like that. You want to get yourself a really good old Bible, and hold on to that. Eat it. Eat that word. Teach your children, teach your friends, teach your family members about the Word of God. Jesus is real. He's real, and He's coming soon. I'd like to thank you for taking the time to even listen to me. Uh, I'll be on real soon again. I've been quiet for a while. I've been watching, but I've been quiet. But I said, Lord, I'm not going to come on here unless you give me something that I need to come on here and say. Be careful out there. Be vigilant. Take care of yourself. Don't pay. Don't. The news lies to you. Stop listening to the news. They're lying to you. They're not your friend. They're not telling you the truth. This is all a scam. I love you in the Lord. Be safe. Jesus love you. Please, oh please, get to know Him. Thank you. There's something in the description down there for those that aren't saved and those that want to rededicate their life. I always have it in the description. Read it, apply it, do it. God loves you. Be blessed. Thank you.